Hi, my name is Christopher. I'm from Wolf Park. I'm the program coordinator here, and I'm going to be talking to you today about wolves and howling, as well as their pack structure and why they live in packs. So first I'm going to be talking about howling. So there's a lot of different reasons that wolves howl. We can kind of break it down into four main reasons that they howl. But first I want to get out a misconception that people often have with wolves howling, because I'm sure most of you have seen pictures or videos of wolves howling at the full moon. And in fact, wolves do howl at the full moon, but they also howl at the half moon and the quarter moon, and when there's no moon at all. So wolves howl all the time, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the moon cycle. But a lot of times people think that they do howl at the full moon because people are more likely to hear them howling at the full moon, or at least they used to, because people used to go outside a lot more when a full moon was out, because it means they have a lot more light to see, so they can finish up their chores or hang out with friends. So if you're outside at the full moon, you're going to be more likely to hear sounds of wildlife like wolves howling. But now that we have that misconception out of the way, we can kind of break wolf howling down into four reasons, like I said. So the first reason that wolves often howl is for protection, because wolves have really large territories. Their territories range anywhere from 50 to 500 square miles. So that is a really huge territory. They can't even roam all of that territory in one day. So the way that they protect that territory from neighboring wolf packs is they will howl, and they will howl along the outskirts of their territory, sort of to just mark it as theirs, but also to tell neighboring wolf packs to stay away because they are in that area of their territory. And usually wolves don't want to come across another wolf pack, so they'll howl to keep them away. Because if wolf packs mix and meet up in the wild, sometimes that can be lethal because they don't really want to get along with other wolf packs. They want to stay within their own pack and their own territory and protect that territory, because within that territory they have all of the resources that they need: their food, their water, their shelter. So they want to protect that for their pack, which is their family, as we'll talk about later. So again, howling is a form of protection, but it's also a form of location, because a lot of times wolves will get separated from their pack if some of the pack goes off to hunt and needs to reunite with the other pack, or if some of the pack goes off to play or explore a part of their territory and they need to meet up with the rest of their pack, they will send out a howl. Because wolves don't have phones like us where they can send a pin of their location and meet up with their pack again. They have to send out a howl. And the way that they can hear those howls is those howls will actually travel up to 10 miles. So that howl is easily going to go through its territory, and the wolves will be able to pick up on that and be able to reunite if they are separated. So wolves will howl for protection. They will also howl for location reasons. And then the third main reason that wolves howl is for mating purposes. And that is because wolf pack structures, as we'll talk about later, are a family unit. And sometimes the younger wolves will go off and leave their family to find a mate of their own. So if you have a lone wolf, it needs to find another mate, or it needs to find another pack that it can join, because wolves are pack animals. They don't survive as long if they're out by themselves. So usually lone wolves will be sending out howls to try to find another eligible mate, so another mate or another pack that they can go join. So protection, location, and mating are all reasons why wolves howl. The fourth reason why they would be howling is for social reasons. So just like people like to sing around a campfire or sometimes sing in the shower, wolves will sometimes sing just for fun or for social bonding experiences, like us singing around a campfire. It's a fun social experience to do that with your family. So they'll sometimes just howl to hear their own voice, or sometimes howl to just have that social bonding experience with the rest of their pack. So those are the 4 main reasons why wolves howl. So now we're going to talk about the different types of howls that they do. So wolves will do a solo howl, which means they're going to howl just by themselves. So you'll see that happening if there is a lone wolf trying to find a mate. So going back to that mating reason, if they're all by themselves and they need to go find another mate or a pack, they'll send out a lone howl. And then if you have 2 or more wolves howling at the same time, that's going to be a duet howl. And so that could be 2 potential mates howling back and forth, or it could be 2 wolves in the same pack or 2 wolves in neighboring territories that are howling back and forth to communicate their location. So if a wolf gets lost from its mate, it might howl and do a duet howl back and forth till they find each other. The 3rd type of howl that they will do is called a chorus howl. And that is when 3 or more wolves howl together. And again, this could be a social bonding experience for them, just howling for fun. Or it could be the entire pack howling to communicate their location to a neighboring pack to say, stay away, this is my territory. And sometimes with these chorus howls, they sound a little bit louder than a typical howl would be, because they'll start whimpering or whining or sometimes even barking while they're howling, and they'll get right in each other's faces, and that's called a rally howl. So that's really a social experience for them, because in that rally howl they're getting all together in each other's faces, sometimes jumping on each other, and they're usually communicating their status within their pack. So they're communicating their social systems and reaffirming their social ties with their other pack members. So all of those friendships or family ties, they're kind of reaffirming those within that rally howl. So those are the different types of howls that wolves will do. And finally, we're going to talk about when wolves are most likely to howl. So wolves will howl primarily in the morning and evening when it comes to time of day, because wolves are what's known as crepuscular, which is a really big word, but that simply means they're most active at dawn and dusk. So just like diurnal would be awake during the day and nocturnal would be awake at night, crepuscular is awake at dawn and dusk. And so wolves are going to be most likely to howl when they're most active at dawn and dusk. In terms of the time of year, wolves are most likely to howl in the winter time, because that is actually mating season. So when wolves are trying to find a new mate and create their own family, that's usually going to happen in January and February. And so there's going to be a lot more howling at that time of year. Howling frequency, meaning how often they howl, is actually going to go down a lot in the summertime, because that's when wolves have their puppies. And they don't want to communicate their location when they have very small, helpless puppies that they need to protect. So howling goes way down in the summertime. And finally, we've talked about time of day and time of year. The other reasons why wolves might howl and when they're most likely to howl is from different auditory stimulation. So if you happen to come out to Wolf Park for a howl night, we all howl as a group of humans, and that sometimes gets our wolves to howl with us from that auditory stimulation. Same with howling at sirens. Sometimes our wolves here at Wolf Park howl at sirens or low-flying planes. So if you have a dog at home that likes to howl at sirens, our wolves often do the same thing. So that is when they are most likely to howl. Now finally, we're going to talk about wolf social systems. So I mentioned many times, of course, that wolves live as a pack. And a wolf pack is really just a family unit. So you're going to have a dad and a mom. You're going to have their offspring, their kids. And then those kids will actually help raise the next litter of offspring. So a pack is really just a big family. And that family really counts on the rest of its family members to hunt. So they really need a pack to hunt because they're hunting animals that are a lot bigger than them, like deer and elk and bison. So they need a pack to help take those animals down. But they also need a pack to help raise the young kids in the pack, the pups. Because those pups, like I mentioned, they're very helpless, they're very small. And it takes a lot of resources, meaning a lot of food, to raise those puppies and get them big and strong before they have to go through their first winter. So a lot of times the parents, the mom and the dad, they go off and hunt because they're more experienced with hunting. And the younger individuals in the pack, like the yearlings and the 2-year-olds, they'll stay behind as babysitters and help raise their younger brothers and sisters and protect them while their parents are off hunting. So that is primarily how a pack is structured, just a big family unit. And just like a lot of families, they play quite often. There's been some research in Alaska actually that has showed that wolves will play on average every 30 minutes. So they spend a lot of their time playing. When they're not playing, they're going to be sleeping together, roaming their territory, howling together, or maybe going off for a hunt to get some food. So I hope you learned a lot about howling and pack structure, and we hope to see you here at Wolf Park soon.